you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain clients, create more impact and more value in your business to amplify your marketing message, Campbell Rappin, and take you through how to buyers, mastering your market, and making offers convert consistently, well, on the inside. I don't know a single business owner who builds in a vacuum, where everything is rainbows, unicorns, perfect, without adversity. We don't talk about that adversity yet, and how do we actually navigate it? Well, I want to take you behind the scenes in a success formula that has been so important for me in my business, and to show you what I teach clients to create and the role, in fact, or roles, shall I say, that I play for my clients. Because whether you're building your first 100K, your next 100K, or that is 10x at the $1 million level, there's going to be adversity. And we hear it all the time from people at every level of leadership. It's lonely at the top. I don't believe that's true. Shocking, right? Like, I really don't believe it's true. Loneliness is a choice because you have chosen to isolate and to not share the journey and invite others on the journey and to bring your humanness to the equation. And when I'm coaching clients, whether it's in our 30-day programs, our 6-month programs, or our year-long program, I will always remind them that life is life. And for somebody in this room, it could be you, it could be a peer, it could be a colleague, it could be me, it could be someone in our supporting team, cast members. But there is always lifing for somebody. So we're never really alone unless we choose it. And so for me, in my journey, I would not use the words ever to describe it as lonely. Lonely in the journey or lonely at the top. Because this is my success formula. Having the right support in your business isn't a luxury. It's necessity. It isn't accidental. It is carefully crafted, curated, edited, and advised. And what I want you to know is you must be intentional about creating this from day one. And so if you're listening to this podcast here on Amplify Your Marketing Message and you have not crafted your dream team, you have not crafted an inner circle, wake up. Today's the day you start. Because I think so often solopreneurs, small business owners, mom and pops, and the small businesses that have only a handful of contractors are completely missing the boat by not leveraging what is established in the world of bigger business. In the world of bigger business, there is a C-suite, multiple people at a leadership level that is equal. If you're a publicly traded company, you are required to have a board of directors. And so you should take this lesson. Today I'm going to show you the 5 seats I think you need, or the 5 roles of seats. It could be more than one person who holds these for you, that will help you be a better business owner, help you feel less lonely in the journey, and truthfully, shore up significantly the odds that you will make it, enjoy the journey, and create a better legacy for everyone who interacts with your business, be they people you hire, people you contract, people you serve, or people you are peer-to-peer with. You will change the dynamic of this bad conversation that's out there that says, I have to go solo. Because truthfully, you don't. You don't. I didn't. And I don't see that in my clients either, because I don't let this be a someday conversation. We start building dream teams. We start building our inner circle right away, because the day you hire me or you hire our business, Clear Acceleration, you have started to fill a seat at that table. And this seat that I carry can often be one of these 5 hats, and sometimes all of them to start with. Because each of these 5 roles play a critical part to helping you be a better business owner. And that ultimately has such a big ripple that it is important that today you decide to start thinking, implementing, asking, and making this your experience in lived reality. So the first piece of this puzzle, the first seat at a board of directors table that I think is critical, and I prioritize this in my business, is to have a sounding board. Somebody who comes into your space, holding space for you to be a work in progress, who comes with compassion and 0 judgment. They are there as a thinking partner. They're your natural brainstorm, a person who will bring presence to you, who sees you, who questions without judgment to help you round out, expand, and to integrate all the moving parts, all the parameters, all the possibilities. This person holds a knowledge seat that is about you getting clear by vocalizing and exchanging of ideas. You'll often hear language from many of my clients because I use it in my world. My number one job is a thinking partner. I'm a mentor, not a coach. They're different. You hired me for an opinion. I'm going to have one. My role is to help you make better decision making by being your thinking partner. I have a million ways that there are to go to business, and I've seen it because I've supported 400 companies and plus. But I'm here to help you think about what's the way you want to do it, what to think about, what to consider. And I'm not here to judge how you want to play the game because I can't do the work for you, and I won't. That's not the role I play. I'm not an employee of you. I am a contractor who plays a seat at your table, and I'm here as your sounding board, your thinking partner. I'm here with compassion for the journey, but no judgment is part of this equation. I only come to the table as a mirror to reflect back to help you get clear. And that is the purpose of this first seat at the table. The second seat that's really important is the dream seat, the visionary seat. You need somebody who can catch your vision and see it. Their job is to keep the light on. Because what I say to people all the time, and you may have heard this expression here on this podcast, when it comes to me making an offer for somebody to consider being a client, the number one question I ask is, tell me your spark is lit and tell me what that vision is, because it is up to you to light the fire. It is up to you to care for and fan that flame. And myself, the role you're asking me to sit at your table to fill is simply to be a fuel source on the vision, to amplify, to add oxygen, but not to light. And so this second seat is the visionary, somebody who says, I've got your wild idea, I get it fast, I see it clear, and I have one responsibility: to hold the vision when you wobble. That's it. To hold the vision when you wobble, to believe in the possibility with infinite patience, infinite clarity, infinite it's possible. Because there are going to be tough days. And when the days are tough, the most important call you make is to your visionary that said, I took some lumps today, got a black eye, scraped my knees, fell into an iceberg, and I'm battered. I'm doubtful. And the visionary there is to ask you this question: will I see you tomorrow? Because the visionary holds the fact that, well, today was rough. Not every day will be rough, but there will be days. And those days when you need to borrow faith on the vision, you call the visionary. And when you need somebody to help you figure out all the options, you call the person who's the sounding board. The third person you need at your inner table, I call them the ass kicker or the truth teller. You need somebody who has a very low tolerance to the BS that you will spout prolifically on your journey. That, well, I could have done this, I didn't do this. And while I thought about it a lot, I didn't take any action. Your true north has a seat at the table, and you need to pass this responsibility to the truth teller and say, I need you to keep me honest. I need you to call me on my BS. I need to hear not what I want to hear, but what I need to hear, because you, yes, hear my vision. Yes, you're here to be a sounding board, but you're also here to be ruthless and compassionate on reminding me why it's worth it, and that the work I'm avoiding is where the magic happens. This truth teller never comes at it to be mean. They never come at it to manipulate. They are asked to hold you to a standard that you have communicated. And so when you bring this person into your table, you need to get honest. Talk about the big why. Talk about what makes this non-negotiable. Share where you're likely to sabotage and say, I'm going to ask you to hold me to account, which simply means to measure, peeps. Accountability is not a negative word. It is simply hold me to my standard. Tell me the truth. Because here's what's happening in the world of truth. Me, right now, being your truth teller. As you grow, and as your business starts to rocket, you will find yourself with more and more and more yes people. People who want to say, yeah, go do that and take me with you. People who will ride your coattails. People who will false advertise and overstate and be going MIA when it comes to get the real work done. It happens, and it's there for a lesson. It's not lonely. It's important for you to recognize this breaks so you know what to fix. But your third seat is the person who holds the North Star, who gets honest, keeps you honest, and keeps you in a bias towards action. And sometimes we often think of this truth teller as playing a contrarian role. They're not there to judge whether their decision and their opinion is better or worse than yours. Your opinions are equal, but they are there to bring contrary perspective, to help you round out ideas and to see fresh perspectives. So let's be honest, truth tellers can bring a high lens of unease to your life. You would not be a better business owner if they didn't. And you wouldn't evolve as a business owner without this seat at the table. So what's important, and I know I hear it time and time again when I'm invited to speak in communities of entrepreneurs, people often ask me to speak because I am a truth teller. And people will often say, Christine, this was a kick in the ass, a kick in the butt. I needed to hear this. And they often will follow that up with, it's a lovable ouchie. I'm never coming at this place to be mean. I'm coming at it because you asked me to hold a standard. If you come into my space, it's because you want to be a great entrepreneur. And my friend, you're dogging it. You're doing half the work. You're not taking risks equal to the revenue you want to create. And I am calling you out. But here's the important thing. Your truth teller has to buy into this truth. We sit at the same side of the table. So your truth teller, even though I said they're contrarian in nature, they don't sit adversarially from you. They don't sit across the table at you in judgment of you. They sit beside you and say, what's possible if we made this better? And I'm holding you to a standard, And as a truth teller, I see a standard that's possible beyond maybe our current. And they will challenge you to grapple with, can we step it up? The fourth person I think you need at your inner circle in order to make it through navigating tough times is a teacher or educator, somebody who brings to you knowledge you haven't yet acquired. So this could be absolutely somebody who is in your industry. However, it does not need to be a parallel for it to be valued. And in fact, I would even challenge you to say that having somebody who brings knowledge in a different industry will help you more, because you'll have to use your brain power to connect the dots. And anytime we can sharpen our ability to critically think, it serves us in exponential ways. So this person comes with expertise and knowledge you have not yet required to learn and need on the journey to the next level. So what I think is important to this in a knowledge seat at the table is that it is lived experience, not theoretical. It is somebody who will talk equally truthful about the positive wins to show you what's possible and the truth about how awful some of the missteps have been, how expensive they have been, how big the consequences have been, and who lives a life that you aspire to. Because it's not a great idea to have somebody who's great at knowledge if they got there in a way that you don't subscribe to. And we see this all the time. I follow and seen people, get really caught up into the life of a guru, but that guru's on his fourth marriage, has a tough home life, and doesn't have the same dynamic in the family circle as maybe you want. Or you're having somebody who just doesn't understand the season of your life, which could be with family, it could be with your health, it could be with any number of criteria. Your teacher, educator needs lived experience. And here's what's important beyond having the life as a whole that you seek, they need to be able to teach. Okay, this is something I think is so important. So many people get caught here thinking, yeah, but they know how to do it. And I said, yeah, but knowing how and telling how and breaking down the how are not equal. So you should be checking. Can they teach, not just share? Because truthfully, when you don't know what questions to ask, having expertise that is further along the journey, whether that's 1 chapter or 20, is going to be a fast track. And the final piece that I think is important is to have a proud elder. This one's sometimes controversial to people because we don't like to feel old, first off, let's just be candid. And secondly, sometimes we struggle to say to people, I'm proud of you, without it feeling weird. And yet I will tell you, when I say to clients, I am so proud of you, you should see the smiles. They don't hear it. And maybe they've never heard it. And it's important that I affirm and notice and bear witness to their evolution. And an elder is somebody who is supporting the emotions and has the courage to communicate. I see you. I celebrate you. I measure your progress in a way that you can't see yourself. And so I tell you, my friends, I think sometimes small business owners miss this. We don't take the lesson that is so blatantly happening in big corporate, which is to be great. It's not about going alone. To be great, we need a great inner circle. And we must choose people. We must ask people. We must engage in this formal conversation because it is so beneficial. So let me recap what they are. When business feels heavy, the right support is everything. You need somebody who's a sounding board. You need somebody who holds your vision. You need somebody who's a truth teller, who is the educator. And you need somebody who is the proud elder. These are separate roles. And when you start your journey, you may be blessed to find somebody who carries multiple hats. But as your business grows, you do want different people to carry these roles separately. When clients hire us, I will tell you, especially for our private clients that come in under the Business Scale Accelerator, I carry all 5 roles. And we build over the course of the year other people. And I say to people all the time, you must keep your eye out for your next strategic hire, and you must keep your eyes out for your next dream team member. Because here's what is true as well. The people you start your journey with may not be with you in every season. That's okay. Sometimes people will evolve into your business because it's what you need right now. And sometimes people will evolve out of your business because you're moving in a different place. Let that happen. But nothing happens if you wait to do this, and nothing happens if you're not intentional with this. I believe firmly that the reason my business has catapulted year after year in growth is because I never go alone. I am clear I'm the spark for my vision. My business doesn't move without me, but I never, ever go solo because I have chosen 5 fuel sources to go with me at minimum. And in any given day, I know exactly who to phone for what I need right now. Do I need somebody to flesh out an idea? Do I need somebody to remind me to hold my vision because it's been rocky and I've got a black eye? Do I need somebody to tell me, frick, Christine, if you could have, you would have, you didn't, go do the damn work and stop complaining about the results you're not getting because the work hasn't been done? And I go to people that says, how do I get to the next level? What's the systems we're using? How do I plan for that? What's my next thing to be thinking about legally? All of it. And I really, really, truthfully love. And I smile in return when someone says, God, Christine, it's so cool to see where you've gone. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for fighting for what you wanted. And I'm proud for how you show up. And I'm proud for you to make impact to other people. This is what we create here. If you're new to our community, welcome. I am Christine Campbell-Rappin. I am your host here on Amplify Your Marketing Message, and I'm a professional ass kicker. So if you want to take your business to the next level, ChristineCampbellRappin.com is my invitation to come find me. I'll help you carry the heavy and I'll celebrate the big wins. I'll see you on the inside. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, host Christine Campbell-Rappin. Be sure to subscribe on your podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. Be sure to visit christinecampbell.com/podcast to get a free resource on Master Your Marketing Message. We'll see you all on our next episode.